Well, it's interesting because, my tenure on the planning board really started as a result of a move that the planning board had made that I thought was extremely short-sighted, from what I knew about tourism and the impact that tourism has on our community. I don't think a lot of people realize that a third of our state's income is derived from tourism, and something like 70% of our region's income is derived from tourism. And a lot of people think, well, I don't have tourists in my business, so I don't rely on tourists. But the piece that they don't really always think about is, the people like myself who patronize their business does. I do rely on tourism. And I think many, many people, whether it's wait staff or service industry people who are spending money all over town or all over the Cape, are getting their income from tourists. And so at the time that I got involved with the planning board, there was a suggestion to zone all of Sandwich Village and all of Route 6A from Jarvis Street East as commercial. And I just thought that was a really bad idea. I thought that the fact that, the Massachusetts Office of Travel and Tourism tells us that the reason that people come to Boston and they come to Massachusetts for a visit is because they are seeking the authentic American experience. And I think that that's why people come to Sandwich. They don't come for the commercialization. They come because there's a sense of authenticity here, that this is a living, breathing community of people that's sort of living a Williamsburg, if you will, life. These amongst all this beautiful architecture, and I felt that zoning the village commercial would open us up to become something like Freeport, Maine, and where LL Bean is, and what they did to their village was that very thing. And if you go there today, McDonald's is in a center entrance colonial house, with a wood carved, gold leafed arched sign. So it's, that, and the fact that, Route 6A is considered one of the, National Geographic says it's one of the 10 most scenic highways in America. And, really all you have to do is go to, at the time I said, well, go to Orleans and look at what Orleans looks like on Route 6A, given that in the 70s they opted to make their stretch of Route 6A commercial as opposed to residential. And I think it was 1972, the people of Sandwich said, no, we don't want to see, our section of Route 6A from Jarvis Street to the town line being all commercialized. What's there can stay. What a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of those businesses are home-occupied businesses. And it's my feeling, if you live where you do business, you're going to keep it up a little bit nicer than you are if it's just your business.
It's always changing hands.
Right, and it's, and so, and town meeting agreed with me, because I got up and said, me and a lot of other people said, this is really short-sighted. This is not a good idea. This is not going to help us. And so it was voted down. And then, in a way you sort of feel like, well, you've got to put your money where your mouth is. So I thought, well, if I'm going to complain about the zoning or the motivation of this board, then I should get involved in it. So that's what I did, and I've been doing that for about 5 years, and it's rewarding, it's interesting, and I've learned a lot in the time that I've been there, and I enjoy it. I will continue to do it for a while.